Hello, if you're watching this video, could you please forward it to any teacher that you know, particularly teachers of middle school and high school students. This is my recording of how I can help teachers with classroom discipline. I have been teaching for 29 years. My name is Danny Weiss. I teach high school math in Waldorf, Maryland. And I feel as though I can help other teachers in terms of classroom discipline if they're interested. So if you could forward this video to any teacher that you know, I would appreciate it. In the description of the video, you can click on my link to the guide that I've written that I call All the Answers. You can also email me with the email I've provided or text me with using my cell phone number that I put in the description. All right, so this is part 6, cheating. Cheating has definitely become one of the biggest problems in education today, especially with the prevalence of artificial intelligence. So ChatGPT has just become a real headache for teachers. All right, so how do we deal with cheating? Well, I'm going to tell you what I do, and maybe that will help. I do almost all of my lessons online, all of my assignments online. I use an online math assignment product called Delta Math. Delta Math is probably the best tool I've ever used in my entire career. What it does is I can assign problems and it immediately tells the student whether or not they got the problem right. And when they see that they got the problem right, it gives this check mark that says correct. They get all excited, oh, I got it right. And it's great. The problem, of course, is with AI and now there's multiple math apps out there where all you have to do is take a picture of a problem and the math app will not only spit out the answer, it'll show the work, how you get the answer. Well, students can just copy that and frankly, they can just once they have the answer, they can just type that into the answer box in Delta Math and boom, they're done, right? Well, how I've been able to circumvent that problem is I now ask all of my students to show all their work on paper. They must submit paper in order to get credit for their assignments. If they don't show how they got their answer, they cannot have credit. So what happens is, even on Delta Math, once they get this problem right, Delta Math shows completely how to do the problem. So why wouldn't a student just copy down that answer to that problem, all the work, and then it looks like they did the work? Well, I'm looking at my students' papers and I can see if they actually copied right from Delta Math. In fact, I can click on each and any problem that they do, and I can see that they copied it. I also know what student work looks like compared to how Delta Math or any app would show a problem. Because if a student does a problem in remotely different, even the slightest difference in how I show them how to do it, I can recognize that. Really, frankly, any teacher can recognize it. And once you see that what they're doing is not their own work, then you can call them on it and show them, hey, this is not your work. All right, they can argue till they're blue in the face, but if it's not their work, it's not their work. And frankly, And you say, all right, if this is your work, prove it. Show it to me right now. Do the exact same thing right here on this problem. And I will apologize up and down to you. And when they can't do it, they've got nothing to say. Okay. So I now really don't have a cheating problem because all of my students are actually physically showing their work on paper. And it's really good, and they're really learning something, and they're getting something out of it. So I recommend that all teachers do that, especially English. English, you just have to call them on it. You have to say when they use a word that clearly wouldn't come out of their vocabulary. You say, this word that's in here, whatever the word is. What does that word mean? And when they have no idea, then you say, I'm sorry, this is not your work. So I think everyone should do this. You just have to call your students out. And it doesn't have to be in front of the class. You can just call them out and say, I'm not accepting this. And you'll be fine. Ultimately, there's no avoiding cheating 100% of the time. There's just no way you catch all of the time. But we do what we can do, and in the long run, you're going to be okay. All right? So hopefully we'll see you for part 7.